What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for the weekend. So I have 9 picks in today's video in total. I have 5 in college football, I have 3 in the NFL, and then I have 1 on ONYX odds. That's going to be an NBA play. So again, leave a like on this video if you are excited about that. Also, guys, if you leave a like and comment on today's video and leave a like and comment on every single video in November, I'm going to give away this Jordan Addison signed jersey to one of you guys. And every single video that you come on here and like and comment is going to be an additional raffle ticket into that entry. Okay, so if you comment a ton of times in November, you're gonna have a ton of entries into this giveaway and have a much better shot of hitting this and going ahead and getting this jersey right here. Okay, so again, like and comment on this video. I will say we did very well on the last video I sent out. We took this guy up here. I still don't know how to say his name. I'm just gonna call him Zach R. We took his over PRA. This was a very simple hit here. We are now waiting for these BYU guys to go over. So if BYU does have a good game throwing the ball, then this guy's probably going to go over, and Chase Roberts is probably going to go over as well. And I also sent out 3 NBA plays. So I sent out, well, technically 4 if you add this one, but Nick Claxton on ONYX odds, this did hit for us. He got 8 rebounds. Kristaps Porzingis, I think, got 16 or 17 points. So he went under his line there. So that was another hit that we had. And then Wendell Carter Jr., I believe, got 6 rebounds. So every single play so far in the video that my last video has hit. Okay. I don't know about these BYU guys. They're going to play in the morning. So hopefully they go ahead and have a great game and go over together. Again, if you don't know what we do a lot on the VIP and on this channel, it is called correlation. So it's actually taking 2 players to go over together, and you'll see a lot of setups throughout the weekend that we're going to have are using that correlated strategy. We also had this setup. For example, I took the unders, and these guys got under their lines as well. This guy got 0 yards in that second half because they were winning. They were winning like crazy. Tulane was, so they didn't have to pass at all. If you guys don't know, I'm also very profitable on the year. Year to date, we're up more than 300 units, which means if you're a $10 better, you'd be up more than $3,000. $25 better, you'd be up more than $7,000. And a $50 better, if you put 50 bucks in every play that I've sent out so far this year, it'd be a lot of bets. But again, guys, it's super easy to tell my bets. You'd be up 15 grand. Okay, 15 grand you would be up. So again, it really helps me if you guys leave a like and comment on this video, because it gets my word out there, it gets my message out there, as well as my strategy, and help more people win money. And at the end of the day, take money away from some of these apps like PrizePicks, right? We always want to take money away from PrizePicks and put it in our pockets rather than vice versa. So first pick of the day is going to be on ONYX odds. I talk about ONYX odds a lot on this channel because they are giving away a free $100. All right. So I'm sure you clicked on this video trying to get some wins, trying to hit some plays on PrizePicks, whatever it is. I'm of course going to get to that, but you guys can actually get a free $100 on ONYX odds. You can also get into my VIP completely free if you don't have ONYX odds, by just signing up for ONYX odds, putting $10 into ONYX, and then just sending me a screenshot of proof that you did that. And again, you'll have actually more than $100 in your account. It pretty much looks like this. All of these free picks you will get, and then you will get signed up for ONYX, which I send out a ton of plays for. I probably send out like 2 to 4 plays like that a day on ONYX odds, and you guys will get a month of the VIP free. So you can do that with ONYX. You can also do that with Sleeper, which I've been talking a lot about, and you'll get a free $20. All right. So free money everywhere on some of these apps, especially during the football season. They're throwing money at people to try to get them to sign up for these apps. And again, take advantage of it, right? Someone hands you a free $20 bill and they're like, hey man, free $20 bill. You would obviously want to take it. So again, sign up for some of these apps. You're going to need them if you're in the VIP, and then also you will get a month free of the VIP for signing up for any of these. So first pick of the day, and then we're about to get into the NFL and college football picks. But the first pick of the day is going to be in the NBA. It is Jalen Green over 23.5 PRA. I think this is a super simple entry right here. I think he got like in the mid 30s last game that he played or something like that. But overall, I think this is a really simple entry to hit. I'll say also, you'll see that I'm wagering $40 on this. I started my ONYX journey with just $500 in my account, betting $25 entries. Then I bumped it up to 30, then I bumped it up to 35, and now I'm up to 40. Okay. So within like 2 months, I've literally taken my account from $500 to like $1,500, and now I'm betting $40 per play. So this is a prime example of just slowly building your bankroll in a smart manner, taking good bets day after day, and not overextending myself, not betting $300 in every play when I only have a $500 bankroll. So again, you guys can start out with ONYX with a free $100 or $200 in the account, whatever you want to do. Start taking, $10 to $15 plays, and then slowly build that bankroll up till you're hitting, $30 plays, $40 plays, $50 plays. All right, guys. So again, this is going to be the play on ONYX, and let's go ahead and get into all of the football plays as you guys have been waiting for, right? So going to rapid fire through these a little bit here, but the first play of the day I think is a really solid one. It is Nico Amaviava to go under 185.5 passing yards. So you'll see here, he normally does go under this line quite a lot. The only times that he does go over is when he's not facing as good of defenses. Now, he is facing actually the second best defense in all of college football, and I think I have that here. But yeah, you'll see here the second best defense in all of college football is Nebraska. Nebraska also has a backup quarterback playing. If you guys don't know, the Dylan Raiola guy, he's kind of the guy who like always copies Patrick Mahomes, but he did unfortunately break his leg last game. So now they have a backup quarterback, kind of an unknown guy. I don't think he's going to be very good. So I think there's a high chance that UCLA actually wins this game, which is going to be good for the unders for Nico, because that's going to mean he's not passing as much. Again, the defense isn't going to change, but the Nebraska offense, I think, is going to be very, very slow. I think they're going to get off to slow starts. They're not going to do very much, and that's going to benefit UCLA because they'll have the ball, they'll score a couple of times probably, and then they'll just sit on the ball, run the ball. And Nico also can run the ball quite a lot with some like QB jet sweeps and stuff. So Nico's one of those guys I would always bet on his under in Tennessee. I always try to bet on his under, and he has cashed for us quite a lot over the past 2 years. All right, so that is the first pick. Second pick is this guy. I actually do not know how to say his name, but is Ethan Grukemeyer, I think is how you say his name right there. And we're going to take him over 26.5 pass attempts. All right. So just as I said with UCLA, they're probably going to be winning the game. So they're probably going to pass less. Now, Penn State is probably going to be losing the game. So what's going to happen when a team's losing the game? They're going to be passing more and more and more to try to get back into this game. Now, they're facing Indiana now, and you'll see what they just did against Ohio State. He threw the ball 28 times. Indiana is looking like one of the best, if not the best teams in the country, honestly. They are looking like a college football, championship type team. And again, Penn State, I think they're going to lose this game pretty easily. The only thing we need is we need Penn State to somewhat be in contention in this game. We need them to stick around a little bit just so all the backups are not put in and all the starters are not, taken off the field because they're just losing by like 50 points. But I don't think that's going to happen with Indiana. They rarely blow their opponents out by like 50 points by halftime or 30 points by halftime. You'll see them put up 50 points, but it'll normally be like a very continued amount of points. Like it's kind of linear where they'll put up like just like maybe 14 points a quarter or something like that. So, with all that being said, I think he's going to easily go over this pass attempt line. I think they're going to have to be throwing this whole game. It doesn't matter what the game plan is. When you're losing by 17 points going into halftime or something like that, you're going to have to throw the ball. This is what these teams are going to have to do. So he's going to throw the ball quite a lot, I believe. Third play of the day is going to be Casey Concepcion to go over 12.5 fantasy score, right? These A&M guys have actually been one of my favorite people, like A&M as a team, whether it's Marcel Reed, whether it's Mario Carver, whether it is Casey Concepcion. They have been some of my favorite people to bet on this year. They have a very quietly very good offense, very good passing offense. I really love the receivers. They're really good. It is what it is. Marcel Reed, very good quarterback, I believe. He can get the ball around. And these guys still think that this team is like a run-heavy team. They're really not. They're undefeated. They're number 3 in the country. They're an electric offense, honestly. Casey Concepcion, why I like his over fantasy score rather than his over yards is because he is kind of like the slot guy. He gets a lot of the dirty work, the 12-yard routes, the 7-yard routes. So he gets a lot of catches. And if you guys don't know, PrizePicks actually counts catches as plus 0.5 fantasy score. So any catch that he gets is going to be positive to his fantasy score. So even if he does come out with a day like 7 catches, 40 yards, that would go under his line for receptions, but that would go over his line for fantasy score, I believe. I don't know, actually, maybe I did the math wrong, but something like that, right? His fantasy score should be good. Again, if he gets in the end zone, that's obviously also going to count towards his fantasy score quite a lot, all right? So that's going to be the third play of the day. Fourth play of the day, going to try to run through these a little bit quicker here, but fourth play of the day is going to actually be Parker Kingston, and we're going to take his fantasy score, all right? So his fantasy score at 11.5. Now, I actually like this one even more than Casey Concepcion because you'll see that his line was actually 2 yards higher than Concepcion, and his fantasy score is 1 fantasy score lower. Okay, so I have no idea why that is. You'll see he normally gets in like the high double digits here. We actually bet on Chase Young, his counterpart. Bet on Chase Roberts to go over receiving yards earlier today, or no, it was over longest reception or something like that. Parker Kingston is kind of his left-hand man, and I compared him to Julian Edelman. So again, this guy is kind of one of those guys that gets a lot of the dirty work. He gets a lot of the receptions. He'll get these like 5-yard outs, the 5-yard slants, stuff like that, and you'll actually see that here in the stats, right? He has more receptions, but he has way less yards. Not way less yards, but he has less yards. Chase Roberts is more of the guy who's going to stretch the field. Parker Kingston's going to get a lot of those intermediate, middle of the field type routes. So they're a really good duo, and they're really fun to watch. But I am taking him over because he does get targeted quite a lot, and he can also break one out very, very easily. All right. Now, the last pick of the day in college football, guys, if you're sticking around to this point in the video, I truly appreciate you, and you're probably going to succeed in sports betting long term because you have the attention span to succeed. Again, if you could leave a like on the video, that is all I ask. If I've been helping you out, giving you guys picks, it really, really does help me out here. So the last pick in college football, and then we're going to get into the NFL. So we're like halfway through these picks, is Julian Lewis to go under 1.5 passing touchdowns. All right. So you'll see here, Colorado is a very bad team. I really do like to bet on all of their quarterbacks unders. Julian Lewis, I think, is probably the best one they have. But if you guys don't know the situation in Colorado, they have 3 quarterbacks. They have Ryan Staub, they have Caden Salters, and they have Julian Lewis. And all of these guys do different things. Now, Julian Lewis came in last game, and he kind of looked a little bit like, he kind of looked decent, okay? But the thing is now, they were preparing all last week for Caden Salter, which is a running quarterback. Now West Virginia is going to know that Julian Lewis is the starter, so they're going to prepare for a more passing type quarterback, and he's not going to do very well. Now, the real reason why I really like this play is, again, they have 3 quarterbacks. And, I like Prime. I like him as a coach. I think he's a good coach, but he has really not handled this quarterback situation well. If one quarterback throws like one pick, he'll sub them out for the entire game and put in the next one. And then that one will throw a pick or throw like 5 incompletions, and he'll sub that one out and put in the next one. So it is a complete carousel. It's a complete cluster there. And, these guys are just interchanging over and over and over again, okay? It's not even a quarterback battle. It's just like who can be worse at quarterback on Colorado. So the sole reason of why I really like this is because there's like, I honestly think a higher than like 40 to 50% chance that this guy is not even the quarterback that finishes this game, all right? He could come in and throw the ball like 10 times and throw 2 picks, and he gets subbed out and doesn't play the rest of the game, okay? So I'm always going to try to bet the unders there. If it's like, you pretty much have a 50% chance that this guy doesn't even finish the game here. So that's going to be all the plays in college football. Again, hopefully you guys can see all of them there. Just going to add $1 there just for tracking reasons. And let's get into the NFL plays, guys. It's going to be really rapid fire in the NFL plays. I don't want to make this video any more longer than it is, but hopefully you guys have been enjoying the picks so far. First pick of the day is going to be pretty simple. It is going to be Puka Nacua over 7.5 receptions. I mean, this guy's an absolute animal. The only reason why I really like him over this week is because I think this is going to be a closer type game here. We have really close teams, and Puka Nacua is probably going to have a lot of receptions and a lot of chances to get the ball. The only thing about betting on the Rams is sometimes they blow the team out so much that they stop throwing the ball, and that's kind of why we bet on Stafford under pass attempts last week, and he hit because they were playing the Saints, and I knew they were going to win by like 30. That's what happened. Stafford completely stopped throwing the ball, and again, Puka didn't get the 7.5 targets or whatever receptions because they just stopped throwing the ball. It's not like these guys are bad. They just stopped throwing the ball. The next pick is going to be Illuminor Zacchaeus, I think is how you say his name, to go under receiving yards. There's just way too much talent in this wide receiver room. They have like 5 superstar receivers, honestly, at this point, plus running backs that can catch the ball. So, Bears, having this guy having 30 yards is quite a lot. And then the last pick of the day in the NFL, guys, for now is going to be Daniel Jones to go over 3.5 rush attempts, all right? So really with this one here, I think he's going to break out probably 2 runs in this entire game. But you also have to factor in that QB kneels are a stat, okay? And I do think the Colts are going to win this game. So if he can run the ball 2 or 3 times, we've seen him run very well. Like Danny Wheels, he has speed. He can definitely run the ball quite well in some of these games. And he'll probably run the ball like 3 times, and then he'll probably get a couple of kneels under him as well, which are going to count for rush attempts. Okay, so if he does kneel the ball 1 or 2 times, that is very, very good for the overs too. So these are going to be the 3 plays in the NFL today, and going to go ahead and lock those in as well. Okay, so as I was saying, guys, earlier in the video, you guys can text me ONYX, get into the VIP completely free. We do plays like this every single day. I send out like 10 to 12 picks that are like 3 or 4 man entries, and we have been doing extremely well. We actually just just came off of our best month ever, which was October, and went up more than 100 units alone that month. All right, so these months are huge for college football and for the NFL. Thank you guys so much for watching. Going to go ahead and wrap it up here, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.